got a couple things ahead of that. I just had one thing, I don't want you guys to think that I'm being mean about it. So I went to my doctor's the other day, and I said, hey, I've got a client, he's got a house, and we're selling it, and I need you to come help me move the furniture out of it. He immediately called security. He said, okay. So then I called our corporate attorney in the area of California and said, hey Alex, listen, I got a seller, and we got to clean the house out, and we need to get new furniture out of it, and I need your help. And he hung up on me. Now why do I say this? I've heard a couple of stories in the last week on agents moving furniture out of people's homes. I had one where they moved the furniture out. On the phone, it was the mom's in a home, assisted living. The daughter lives in wherever. Says to our agent, have an estate sale, and I don't care what it is, just get rid of it. If they offer you $20, if they want $10, you have it for $20, sell for $5. Just get rid of the stuff. All verbal. You see where I'm going with this? So guess what now? Hey, these were family heirlooms. And how dare you only get $3,000 for all of them? I want an itemized receipt list. I want pictures. I want all the stuff now for this. Okay? So, here's the way it should go. Hey, Grandma, my mom's stuff's all in that house, and it needs to be getting out of it. It needs to be all the stuff taken out of the estate sales. Okay, great. Let me know when you get it organized. I'll come back to people in to do it. You call the estate sale people, not me. I'll add them in. I sell homes, not furniture and estates. We better learn to start staying in our lane, because it's going to come back to bite you right in the butt. Stay in your lane of what you're doing in our business. Stop trying to be Johnny Helper. And I get it, you guys. We want to help them out. They have this. They got pain. They got suffering. Whatever it looks like. Okay, I understand all that. But the first person that they want to sue is the real estate agent, because somehow they did a terrible job when they helped them through all this stuff. And now the same deal that we're doing, the house isn't selling because it's about, let's see, what did she tell me? I think around $80,000 more than it's worth. So now they want to pull the listing, because the agent is too incompetent to get the home sold. Even though she said it should sell for around $580, and it's on the market at $690 or something in that area. So my point to the whole story is, guys, just stay in our lane. Stop getting involved with things you shouldn't be getting involved with. I understand, trust me, I understand. But man, be careful, because it's going to come back to get you. And then we're going to be sitting at the division going, what happened? Why did you do that? Are you a mover? So you got a mover's license. No, I'm a realtor, and my husband's got a truck, or my friend's got a truck, so we're a moving company. Stop doing that, please. You're going to get yourself in trouble. All right, 10,032 homes as of Sunday. First time since, what, November of 2022? But look at this, 641 homes were sold in the last 7 days. That was up last week, I think it was 511 or something like that, 513. So we're still moving along. It's funny, and I know we kind of touched on this. I'm not going to dig too deep in it, but I did a class Wednesday, and I've talked to, had an interview with several agents. I've asked them, hey, what market are we in? Are we in a buyer's market? Are we in a seller's market? What market are we in right now? Almost everybody, we are in a buyer's market. Wow, that's cool. How do you know that? I don't know. So, hey, man, you're telling folks it's a buyer's market, you have no idea what market it is. Yeah. So you're advising them we're in a buyer's market and you don't even know where we're in. Yeah, that's what we're in. Okay, how do you know that? I don't. I'm just guessing. I talked about it a couple weeks ago, how we know what market we're in right now. And I think there was a little bit of pushback. I think a few agents thought I might not believe it or know what I was talking about. 4.13 months worth of inventory. 33, I'm sorry. So 4.25 months right now. If no new homes came on the market, we'd be out of homes to sell in just over 4.5 months, right? Seller's market. 0 to 5 months worth of inventory is a seller's market. Okay? We're pushing it. We're right up against it. 0 to 6 months of inventory, it's neutral. It's not a buyer's market, nor is it a seller's market. And then 0 to 7 months and beyond is a buyer's market. We haven't been in a buyer's market in probably 15 years. Thank God. So, when you are talking to people, make sure they understand what market we're in. Make sure you understand what market we're in. Are sellers giving up monies, repairs, that kind of stuff? Absolutely, right? That's the market we're in right now. But we're still selling. What's here, we just sold 641 homes the last 7 days. That's up probably by 130 homes, probably in the last 5 weeks, what we're doing. So we're still bumping along, we're still moving. Just make sure we know what market we're in. Because I think it's important that we're not out there telling folks the wrong thing when we think it is, when we don't really know. Right? So just make sure you're doing that. Let's see what else is on here. Price changes, homes for 400,500 price reductions. That's been running about 500 homes price reductions every probably 6 weeks in that price range, 400 to 800,000. Every 6 weeks, every week, there's been almost 600 price reductions in that price range. So we're still pricing properties overpriced. By a lot too, guys. So please make sure that. And then look at this, 365 withdrawals in the last 7 days. We know this with a mathematical certainty. When a home comes off the market withdrawn, 2 things: they hate the real estate agent, and they put it back on the market with a different real estate agent 90% of the time, and they always lower the price. So please make sure you guys know that. Try not to take listings overpriced. A couple thousand, 5,000, 10,000, I'm in, but I'm seeing it, man. And people are, even though when you explain these numbers to the sellers, they still don't believe them. But you need to be hard and fast on what you're doing, because the price reductions are showing. All right, Heather, the floor is yours, girl.
That was fast.
Give her a big hand. I'll get out of your way.
Most of you guys know me. I'm your sales executive with Rock Title. I'm here to help you some of our marketing tools to get to the final step of escrow. So with our escrow officers, I'm not the escrow officer. If you're not working with one of our escrow officers, I'm happy to introduce you to somebody. I get so many questions, and there's just a little bit about what we have for you. So if you guys have time, stay after. I'm going to talk a little bit about NetSheet so you guys understand how to use our Rock Agent tool. It's really, really simple once you know how to do it. The real estate calculators, like you can do equity reviews in 2 minutes for people. There's so many, there's, I don't know, 10, 15 calculators on there that is really good, valuable information for you to pass on to your clients. Open house flyers, single property websites, social shares. I know there's a lot of people that spend money on the automated AI posts, which are great, but it does cost money. And I know everyone's trying to save money. We have so much stuff on the social shares that are free that I can just show you a little bit. It takes a minute a day to just pick up your cell phone and go flop, flop, flop. You just made a post. And then it's also not cookie cutter. So it gives you a lot of opportunities. So again, after meetings, stay after with me, and I hope you guys can learn a few things.
Thank you. That's a great app, you guys. You need to make sure you're using it. And again, I say, when you're doing a list, make sure you're giving them at least 4 or 5 net sheets at different price rates from where they're at. Listen, the sellers know in their heart and heart they're not going to get what they think they're going to get. But they think that we're done with, that we're going to try to listen to that, and then we're going to beat them up every week. And then they get mad because we're beating them every week because the home's not going to sell. And then they hate us because it didn't sell because they knew it was overpriced. And they knew it was overpriced when they took the listing. We all did that. That's what's going on in our business, you guys. They know they're not going to get it.
Appraise, so even if you get it under contract, it's cost to appraise.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You have to do about that. All right, Nora, give her a big hand. Thank you, by the way. Thank you for an amazing breakfast. We appreciate that.
Pleasure. Nothing makes me more happy than to see all these faces.
Yes.
I actually have to do a video. Just because. Say good morning.
Good morning.
Right, there's Jeff, the leader. Okay, so we're gonna play a quick game. See how much you've been retaining of what I've been saying for the last 3 years. through the end of August,
Okay.
end of the month, okay?
I almost said forever.
Yeah. What is our military discount?
20%, 25.
Or you're hired. I need help. 20%, so I'm going 20% discount with military. And now, can you layer the $100 discount with the military?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, maybe that's it.
Looks like you're gonna be having it to everybody.
Yeah, that's okay, I have plenty of stuff to give away. Let's see here. What is a 30-day guarantee? Somebody just read it.
That they will be able to like fix something after 30 days.
Close. So we have a 30-day guarantee, which means if we came out today to fix something, and then within the next 30 days it breaks again, we will come back out at no service fee. Okay? That's a big one. A lot of times when we fix systems, we'll fix one part of the HVAC and it'll cause something else to go wrong, especially with older systems. Let's see. I have one. I lost it. Let's see. How much is Shield Complete?
850 and minus 100.
Okay, I'll do something. 815 and $100 off. How much is our service fee?
$100. 95. 125.
Our service fee is $100. What is our appliance limit on Shield Complete? Meaning, in a 1-year contract, how much will we spend to either fix or replace an appliance on Shield Complete?
$2,000.
2,500. 2,500. 1,500.
Unlimited.
$7,000 per appliance. Last year, the largest claim that we paid out in Las Vegas was not an HVAC. It was one of those sub-zero side-by-side refrigerators. Those actually cost more than an HVAC, believe it or not.
Yes.
Right? All right, what else do I got for you? Let's see. What is our coverage limit on HVAC?
On what?
On HVACs.
2,500.
So in a 1-year contract,
7,000.
how much will we spend to either repair or replace your HVAC?
15,000.
Who said that? All right, good job. 15,000. That's per unit. So if you have a 4,800 square foot home, right, and it has 3 systems, they're each covered under that $715 premium. They're each covered for $15,000. Okay, so that's the big one with us compared to some of our competitors, is we don't do add-ons for additional appliances or additional HVAC systems or additional water heaters. I've been seeing some homes with 2 water heaters, which is kind of, I have not seen that in like the last couple of weeks. Okay, if you have a refrigerator in the garage, is it included under the warranty?
No.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You have 2 refrigerators.
Yes, and they're included in the same premium.
I have 2 refrigerators.
Most of us in Vegas have 2 refrigerators. We have one outside for drinks and we have one
in the
inside.
garage.
Let's see, my last question here. Who makes this a good one?
Just ask questions from time to time.
How long after a home has closed without a home warranty can you add one on?
45 days.
7 2.5 years.
90 days, and I have some flexibility up to 120. So like I'm always saying, if you're looking for a reason to call somebody that closed 3-4 months ago, check in on them, ask for a referral, see how things are running, right? Takes about, especially if you had a house that was vacant, right, for a long time, and then a whole family moves in and they start using all the systems, you really start to put a little bit of pressure on the systems, and that's why a lot of times things break within those first few months. So we can add on a home warranty up to 190 to 120 days. So again, then they can apply or that'll qualify them for the $100 discount. If they were military, they'll get that additional 20%. I think that's the last question I have.
Hey, you nailed that a bunch.
Okay, so I'll be here till 10:30, so just, everybody come and say something.
I like it, the card on there
Yeah,
too.
isn't that great? The whole kit is the
Yes.
best thing ever.
All right, good job, thank you.
Thank
All right, you guys, so let's jump into this. One of our panelists is not gonna make it today. He also won't be here, so we're still gonna go through, do what we do. So let's bring up our special guest. Let's bring up Tiffany. Come up, Tiffany, give her a big hand. Sabrina, come on up. Rosalinda, please come up. And then Patrick. By the way, we didn't split them up for any special reasons. Patrick's a big hand. So I'm gonna step out of here and go in the back. You guys will still be able to hear me. We don't have microphones, so you guys just speak up. By the way, guys, I want you guys to ask questions as well. I've got a bunch of silly questions that I always come up with, but I want you guys to ask questions, what you guys want to know. One thing I will tell you with Raza, he's not here right now, this group right here, year to date has done 41 transactions for about $19 million. So give them a hand for that. All right. So I'm going to step over here so you guys can see them and not my pretty face.
Look over here and give me your number one, the right one.
Yes, not the middle one.
Give me one, come on, Patrick. Thank you.
So what we'll do is we'll start with Tiffany. I'm just going to ask you guys the same basic questions. Answer all of them, then we'll go back and do them again. So, Tiffany, what made you get into real estate?
It has been in my family for many, many years, and when I left high school, I went to Markberry Appraisals and was answering phones at Americana on Paradise. So it was just something that was embedded in me, like, from a young age. So, and I love it. I have a love for it.
Perfect. Sabrina?
It is a little bit newer for me. My mom and my stepdad got into it about 5 years ago, and I just kind of saw them completely change their lives around. So I decided to take the leap of faith and join along with them.
You guys, and by the way, you guys, just so you know, Sabrina, she's been in business 8 months and she's about to close her third transaction. So congratulations. All right, Rosalinda, why'd you get into real estate?
Well, I used to be a loan officer and my son is a realtor, and then he was going to school at UNLV, and all of a sudden he told me he don't want to do the real estate anymore, so I had to take my step to get my license too in real estate, so that's why I'm here in real estate right now, and I love it. Less stress than the loans.
Less stress and love, for sure. Okay. Patrick, go ahead.
So my father was in real estate, so I kind of grew up around it, going to open houses and doing so. I was exposed to it in that sense. But once I bought my first home, I kind of paid attention a little bit closer to what my real estate agent was doing, and I realized, you know what, I could do this and I could do better than him. So that was kind of my first step into jumping into it. But now that I've been in it for 12 years, I absolutely love it.
Very good, very good. So Tiffany, the thing I always ask this question because I'm always curious about people. What does your morning look like?
What does my morning look like? So it depends. So I'm one of those people that time block. I know there's 168 hours in a week, and my calendar is coded completely, and every day pretty much looks the same except for when I have appointments. And if I have an event, I'm also the event director for the Vegas Golden Knights. And I used that as my sphere of influence when my kids left school and I had nothing else, because as we grow into our 40s, late 40s, 50s, and our kids grow up, our sphere starts to shrink and our actual people who we interact with does. So I started looking for something I could do that gave me the freedom to do what I needed. And I also I do some things with Live Nation also. So it gave me another sphere on the outside, and depending on how that calendar looks, depends on what my day-to-day looks. But I usually start at about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I get my me time done first. And then if I have a late night prior, I do sleep in at 7, 8 a.m., but I'm very time blocked and very intelligent or diligent and intensive. I am very, I'm trying to think of the word right now, but I'm intentional with my calendar, yeah.
I like that, intentional, be
Yeah,
intentional.
I was trying to think of the word, but I am. Every day I plan it out, and every night before I go to bed, I know exactly what my day is gonna look like the day before.
And you got, I think that's a great point too for everybody, is like, and I know you do my calendar, the girls do my calendar as well. I time block everything, I have different colors for everything that's going on. I have my personal stuff I'm doing in there, we have complaint, whatever it is, all different color codes, I think we need to do that.
Yeah.
Sabrina, 8 months, what does your day look like every morning?
Okay, so.
You have little ones still too, right?
Yeah, so my story is a little bit different. I'm not gonna resonate with everybody, but I'll resonate with the people, you know, that probably need to hear it. I do have 2 little ones, so my day-to-day looks a little bit crazy sometimes. So my best advice is to look at your day-to-day life and kind of plan accordingly to that. So kind of like, you know, you guys do, I time block as well. So even if it's only 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, I'm, you know, putting in that time each day, even if it looks a little bit crazy. So like she said, not every day is gonna be the same, but even if you're putting in, you know, a little bit amount of time each day or every other day, still be consistent and, you know, persistent in what you're doing. And like she said as well, be intentional also with your time.
Perfect. Rose, what does your morning look like?
Well, for me, I have my own rituals, like everybody else, most of the people are doing it right now. First is when I wake up, I have to pray, thank God that I'm still alive, and for at least 10 minutes. And then I do my exercising, which is dancing, and then cleaning up the house, doing my household chores. And by the time, that's why I'm always like late, because I wake up at 5 and I do all my rituals and everything. So by the time I get here, it's already 10 o'clock, and that's the only time that I have to check my emails and everything. And then after lunch, I have to do my own thing, like maybe with clients, talking on the phone with clients.
Very good. One thing I know that, because we've also been on a panel before, and one thing I do like that she does a lot is she's thankful for what she has now. You know, I think we don't spend enough time thanking the things that we do have, a nice house, a car, or whatever, health, whatever it is. I don't think we do enough of that, so I know that she does that as well. Patrick, what's your morning look like?
Well, I'm definitely not a morning person, so for those that, you know, are familiar with, you know, that way of life, I don't try to sit here and wake up at 5 in the morning, God bless you for being here. I probably would be able to get more done earlier if I woke up early like that. But, I too have kids, so they wear you pretty ragged, and that requires me to wake up at probably around maybe 8, sometimes 9 o'clock. But when I wake up, I have to have a cup of coffee. But once that is done, I kind of, portion of my house is designated as my office, and I try to do everything I can to keep my children from invading that space. But when I am in that space, I do everything I can to make sure that any and all communication that needs to be done has been done. So answering emails, calling title companies, anybody that is involved in my transactions, they are all communicated with, so I can communicate with my clients on what is actually going on. Because all of these beautiful, you know, title companies and everybody else, they're quick to sit here and start emailing you early in the morning, and I need to be able to get that information out to my clients. So there's that. Outside of that, it's pretty much our business, at least as far as the way I run mine. It's, you know, I don't consider myself as one selling real estate. I just guide people through the process of either buying or selling. What I am in selling is me. So if I'm not out marketing myself in a million different ways, then I'm not doing my job. So if I'm not dealing with the day-to-day details of a transaction, then I'm figuring out how I'm going to market myself. So whether that's flyers, whether that's social media marketing, making videos, doing anything and everything I can to try to get people to know that I exist and what I do for a living. So that is pretty much every single day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. That's what I'm doing. So that's my morning.
Very good, very good. All right, Tiffany, so at the end of the day, we all know we're in real estate, and there's many days you go home and your butt has been kicked all day. So what keeps you to keep fighting a good fight? What keeps you moving?
So for me, I have found a niche where I love working with a certain type of buyer and seller, and I have found that a lot of the people I end up with that maybe had a previous agent or not a great experience, or their first time home buyers are looking for someone to help educate them along in that process. And I love to teach. And I have found that teaching is a niche for me, and it's something that actually motivates me, because when I know my client walks away and my reviews say, I learned going through the process, and I get the text messages, Tiffany, I didn't know these things when I bought my other home, and I learned it going through this process. It makes me feel good, and it makes me realize that I'm not just doing a transaction, I'm actually teaching them something, and sometimes they're older than you, and they've bought and sold, but the agent maybe prior didn't take time with them and didn't explain things to them. I leave them with footprints, and that's what motivates me, is I'm making an actual change in their lives, and I'm not just creating a transaction.
Very good. Sabrina? You're young in it, okay?
Ask the question one more time.
So, what keeps you fighting the big fight? Because guys, keep in mind, everybody in this room, including these guys, I've been on the phone with every one of you over some wacky nonsense going on. Okay, so I know you get your butts kicked because I'm with you getting kicked. So, what keeps you doing it? I mean, is it the money? Is it the fame? Is it the fortune? What drives the kids? Vacations? Cars?
Know your purpose, definitely, and your reason. For me, my reason is my kids, so I use my fear as that motivation. Even, sitting in front of people, it's fearful, but, you're not, how do you say it? You can only fail if you're trying. So I use that fear as kind of a strength, and I do a lot of USA meditation at the end of my night. Once my kids go to sleep, I have that me time. Sit back, evaluate your day, look at your small wins. The Compound Effect is a really good book. If you haven't read it, it talks about the small wins, equal out to those big wins. So even if it was you only got online and you reached out to 2 people, or you did 1 post, or you made 1 phone call, every small win is a win. So kind of, pat yourself on the back each day, even if
There you go. One thing to you guys with Sabrina is, we were talking about doing door knocking. And she was horrified, didn't want to do it, scared to death, I'm not going to do it. And then she just sucked it up and did it. And she said, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So, and guys, it takes a lot. And trust me, everybody in this room has done it. Whether it's cold calling, whether it's warm calling, whether it's talking to your sphere, you have trepidations about it. And that's the drunk monkey on the back saying to you, you can't do it, don't do it, nobody does it, and nobody will respond. So that's the thing, just be sure.
Choose your heart. Yeah, everything's gonna be hard, but kind of choose your heart, and even if it's fearful, if it's scary, still go for it.
Yeah, good. Rose, how do you fight the big fight every day and keep doing it?
My reason is my kids, even though they're grown up already, I still think about them. Like, cause most parents, most especially in our nationality, they're just like waiting for their kids to do something for them, like buy a house for them. For me, it's not good just because my kids are my life. So everything that they need and they want, I have to give it to them like freely. Because the thing is, they will be the one that's gonna be taking care of me when I get older. So
You guys do it now.
Yeah, and then plus the thing that I do for them is just like when parents cannot give the things that they like, or most especially education, it's hard for them to like get where they're gonna be at. So that's why what I do is I educate them to get the property that they want, even the small properties, when they were still young. Like my son, he was like 18 when he got his first house. And then my youngest now, he's got his house too. So it's just like about education and helping also my first time home buyers, because I used to be a loan officer. And I like to help them to get a house because renting is really very, hard, most especially. You're just helping them, helping your landlord to pay for their mortgage. So I always like put it inside to my clients to, owning a home instead of renting.
Very good. Patrick, what do you do to keep the fight going? Why?
Well, it's
we're all, you know, independent contractors or, you know, business owners. I like that independence. I never really liked working for somebody, so being able to have control over my time is huge. But I would say probably, why would I pick this particular industry over any other than I can run my own business? I grew up poor, so I literally never had a home that my parents owned. We always just moved around a lot. So the idea of owning a home was something that meant the world to me. So once I was able to accomplish that and I learned the process of that, I wanted to help others be able to do the exact same thing. So whether it's a first-time home buyer or somebody that owns multiple properties, the idea of guiding them through that process so that they can meet their goals, whatever those are, personal, that motivates me on a day-to-day basis. Whether that's guiding them from being a renter to a homeowner, or, you know, just in a sense, just educating them overall, because there's so many bad perceptions that people have about owning property, buying an investment property, and I'm here to do anything and everything I can to dispel a lot of myths and things like that. So that right there motivates me pretty much on a daily basis to do anything and everything I can to help people go from renting to owning.
Very good. Tiffany, what do you do for lead generation? How do you lead generate? I mean, you talked a little bit about it, but what do you know, do you buy leads? Do you do social media? Do you generate them through your sphere of influence? What exactly do you do?
So I spent my first year in the business with buying leads. I actually did Zillow and Boomtown, and I invested probably close to about $65,000 in my first year. And what I found was it was great. I had a really good conversion rate, but what I found was that my sphere and the way I invested in that and my referrals was actually giving me more than me investing in leads. So I backed out of lead gen, and I do not invest in any type of lead gen, and everything I do is solely based on community, sphere of influence, and referral based. And I just take really good care of my referral base. And I actually have hurt a couple people's feelings in the room, somebody that just walked in, Chris, because I use my social media as my CRM, one of them. I do not allow agents that I don't have a personal relationship with on my social media. And the reason why is because when I first got my license, I found every agent on the planet all of a sudden was friend requesting me. And I was taking all these friend requests from people I had never met before and I'd never talked to, and then all of a sudden, people I had been in PTA with, worked on charities with, done all of these things with that were on my social media that I had built relationships with over the years were now being commented from agents that I'd never met before, and they were soliciting themselves on my page. And I thought, no, absolutely not. So I threw everybody off. And then I took Chris back, because I love Chris.
Yeah, we do.
And we have a personal relationship. But there were a couple of roses on mine, but I know that there's agents on there that respect they respect my spirit, and I respect theirs. I don't get on there and heart their things and comment on every post. So I approach my lead gen a little bit differently than most.
Will you add me back on? I know you kicked me off. Will you add me back on?
I did. I finally was like, well, Chuck's there for me when I have meltdowns. I'll let him on.
Sabrina, how do you do it, girl? Do you buy leads? Do you do social media? Your sphere of influence? Phone call? What do you do?
So I just recently decided to join a team, but prior to this, it was all referral based and social media. Just putting yourself out there. Don't second guess, those little posts. Try to stay consistent with that, even in social media and networking. I try to do at least once every other day, every day sometimes if able to, and then just stay in communication, really build those relationships. Outside of this, I am a tattoo artist as well, so the way I build those relationships are kind of the way I want to build these. I have people, who I stay in connection with, and they kind of want to work only hand in hand with you. So in real estate, I want to kind of keep that going as well. And then with joining the team, that's new also. So now we're getting a little bit more into leads, and I'm going to get into doing calls. So that's where don't let that fear stop you, get in the way, because that's also going to be brand new as well. So that's going to be starting this week. So that's a new journey also.
Very good. We'll have to talk later because I want to get a sleeve.
Yeah, let's do it.
Attach
I
your
got
sleeve.
you.
All right, Rose, what do you do? Do you pay for leads? Do you get leads? Do you do social media?
I do my social media and Facebook, and actually I learned it from my parent before when he was coaching me that just be yourself. You know, because sometimes my English is not good, so I always like have so many errors, and then I delete again, and then I delete until I don't do anything. So what he told me is just do one video, and then whatever you say, that's it. Just close your eyes and do it. So I've been getting text messages and messages in messengers that some people they want to move here, and also referrals from my friends from Hawaii, and that's all I do. And I go to parties. So I meet people there and I give my business cards.
Very good. Patrick?
Well, like I mentioned before, after coffee and emails, I do everything I can to market myself. One of those does not involve me paying anybody to provide me with any leads. So Realtor.com or Zillow or any of that stuff, I don't do any of that stuff. My main focus is developing relationships with people. So if I have somebody who trusts me, then they're more likely to do business with me. So whether I'm on social media or whether this includes YouTube. So when I create videos, I'm putting them on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, anything and everything that I can about all things real estate related, so that these people begin to know who I am, what I'm about, what expertise I have, and then therefore they're more likely to end up contacting me. Outside of social media marketing, I do flyers, I door knock, I do everything I can to try to get, as much as a face-to-face relationship with people as I possibly can. I have not got into calling people, meeting strangers or anything like that. That's probably a really good way of probably meeting a bunch of people in a very short amount of time.
Do you call your sphere of influence stuff?
Yes, but more or less when I sit there like cold calling, I'm talking about people that have no idea.
You don't know who you are,
I am. It's difficult for me to develop relationships with people in that way because people want to have multiple contacts with you before they trust you to do anything, unless they end up having some other form of, exposure to you. So the biggest thing is just doing anything and everything. For those of you who have not gone out and done some of the things in which we've talked about, this industry, in my opinion, is all about building relationships. So however you guys go about doing that, do it in your unique way, and you guys are gonna, be quite surprised by how much more business you guys are able to generate by slowly building relationships with people.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I've got a few more questions, but who has a question? And you might have one, please.
For you, I just had a quick question. What made you want to transition into a team? Like your parents, you said your parents are in real estate.
Yes.
Do they work for?
So my mom actually started off with Realty One, and she got into new home builds. And for me, it was really a matter of I literally took a piece of paper and wrote out like my pros and cons joining a team versus not. I know that there's only so much that I was able to do by myself, and then also, I'm very open with my story. Like I'm a single mommy, so it's only so much you can do financially as well, with like the lead sources and whatnot, and then having that community of people who have already done this business and are really doing amazing at it, can help you kind of take that next step. So for me, I know that I wanted to advance and evolve, and it just wasn't the right move to do it solo. So I felt after speaking with a few different people that joining a team was going to be the best, option for me to have that support and that group of people to kind of grow and evolve with.
Great. Anybody else have a question for anybody? Please, Amy.
Yeah, Rose, thank you for opening your door anyway, and thank you for letting me realize and producer, even though we're in a team, because I was telling you before, I'm missing my numbers and it doesn't work out, and thank you for your support. But the question is, how do you support the members of your team, and how did you realize that we should be in your team, or how did that come about that you formed the team?
Well, the thing is, I've been, like, I had interview panel again before, and then all of a sudden, like, couple of realtors just came and knocked my door, and I was like, oh, why, what can I do for you? I said, like, I said, Rose, do you have a team? And I said, no. And then he said, can we join you? And I said, I don't think I want to do it. I have to think about it. I said like that. So I've been like thinking it for 2.5 years. They've been coming to my office because I give them my key. And then I said, you can help me do my, showings and everything. Like Martin is really like so persistent and girly. So I was like, okay, so what are we gonna do now? So I help them. To like get leads and everything. I do one-on-one. And then all of a sudden I said, one time I talked to Kuya Deb and he said, Rose, well, this realtors, they're really persistent in like, forming a team, so what can you advise? And then, so he said, well, we can give it a try, Rose, so I had to give it a try. So now I'm loving it because, it's not only for my growth, it's for them too, just because I love meeting people and I love to teach. But the thing is, as I said, my English is not good, but I said, as long as I know how to make money, and I always say that to them, that whatever you give out will go back to you multiple fold. So don't think about the numbers, don't think about, the money, it's the numbers that counts. So that's why Martin, I'm so glad that he sticks with me, even though, for the longest he is not really coming to my office. And then one time that I was out of town, I said, can you help me? Can you show property for my clients? So he's been there, and also to Gertie, and that's why I had to form a team. And it's a small team, but I know your growth is gonna be my growth. So let's just do one step at a time. And the thing that we can do is just help those people that need help in getting a home, especially the first, as I said, I'm always focusing on the first time home buyers, because I see a lot of like the casino workers that doesn't have a home, that lives in an apartment. So let's focus on those, because owning a home is more better than renting, and helping them build their wealth and legacy for their kids. So that's all. Thank you.
Good job. Now, the thing, one thing guys I do, and I think a lot of people in this room, Tiffany touched on it, and so did Rose. When you're coaching and training and helping people, for me, that's the part that charges my batteries, because I like to do that part. That's the part I enjoy. I like teaching CE classes, post-licensing classes. Those are fun to me because I get enjoyment out of that. So I think as a team, I think that goes a long ways when you can coach and train somebody, you see them succeed in their business. Anybody else have a question, please?
Yeah, which CRM is your favorite and why?
I didn't hear what you say. Say it louder.
CRM, which one is the?
What CRM do you guys use?
And why?
And why, Tiffany?
So I've switched between a few. Boomtown was attached to lead generation, and at first I really liked it because it had an ISA kind of attached to it that kept your leads warm when they came in. But then I realized I was overpaying for Google clicks with them that weren't really benefiting me, and just my personal opinion, I was not benefiting from the amount of money I was putting in. So then I switched over to Follow Up Boss, and I really loved that. It was simple, it was easy, and I am looking at a couple others. I do like Follow Up Boss. I think that CRMs are great, but I do think that we overcomplicate those things. They could be done on a spreadsheet. You can use your phone, I think, depending on how. But I also think that's an accountability thing too. Like, if you can't hold yourself accountable in the way you communicate with your clients, then I think a heavier CRM is probably more important. So it's really, It's how disciplined you are in your communication, your drip campaigns, your lead, your lead generation, how you're touching your clients every month, how are you tracking that? And that's really what it comes down to.
Sabrina, what do you use for a CRM? It's funny because I was going to ask that question, by the way.
Well, I'm still a bit newer, so my CRM at first was the spreadsheet, piece of paper, kind of thing, but now I'm using Follow Up Boss.
Which one?
Follow Up Boss. Rose, what do you use?
Actually, I just started using the capsule, but before I've been using my cellular, just do it myself, and that one is really working for me, just because, no, I'm stuck. Yeah, I just do it myself, so like, calling people, most especially those, the messenger that I get from the Facebook, I started calling them and I put in a spreadsheet, and then if they're really like interested in buying a house or moving, I put there, and also on my cellular I put like 3, if they are interested in homes, I put 3 homes first and then their name, and then if not really interested, two homes and then their name. So I go into that. And then I also put, and the last name, I put where I met them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Patrick, what do you do?
So I don't pay for any sort of outside source. I just do it all on my own.
So you don't use a CRM then? You just have like your phone, your alphabet kind of thing? Why do you don't have a CRM at all?
No.
Okay. Nothing wrong, you guys. The thing about it, I think if you're going to have a CRM, in my opinion, get one that has a drip email campaign in it, because that's a set it and forget it thing, and it automatically goes every 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever it is you set it up, because it keeps you in contact with them. I don't believe that CRMs are everything, you guys, because at the end of the day, we are in a people business, and you need to talk to people every day. You need to know what's going on in the market. You need to know how to fill out a contract. That I think is the most important thing. So I think that's a great. Use them, you don't. We give you sync, commissions incorporated. You can use it, you don't have to use it, it's really up to you. There's a ton of them out there. The best one to use is the one you use at the end of the day. Anybody have another question?
Well, and your phone is your greatest asset, right? To go back to that, like if you have, it doesn't matter what CRM, your phone is in your hand all day, every day. And if you look at the average screen time that you spend on your phone, some people range anywhere between 6 to 8 hours a day. And then if you do an activity tracker, what are you doing on that 6 to 8 hours? Scrolling videos? I mean,
Yes.
and that's really what you're doing, right? So if you actually take the time to take that 6 to 8 hours, even if you invested 2 hours of your time and you treated your phone as a CRM and you put notes in there and you connected your, like you said, where you met them, how they were connected, what referral they came from, how you contacted them, put their birthday in, put their address in, you have a checklist to do, you have alarms, there's so many different assets on your phone that you can utilize, and you have it in your hand more than anything else. So, I mean, if you want to start somewhere to see if you're disciplined before you can actually invest in a CRM, that's the best place to start. in my opinion.
Next question for me, it'll start with Tiffany. Tiffany, do you do videos? And if so, what do you do? What's on the video?
I have done a few videos. I do videos. It just depends on what I'm doing. I'm really big into filming is like where I'm at, how much it is, and I like to do some different things. I do a lot of activity tracking with my insights. I like to see what gets clicks, what doesn't. Even if you're not getting all the hearts and likes, you can see like who's actually paying attention, who's watching. So I do things based off of what people like. I don't like boring, like just, oh, this is me and I'm at my open house today. Like, nobody wants to see that. They want to see what you're looking at. They want to see how your client is, relating to you. They want to see the story behind what you're doing. Are you cleaning the house for them in between showings? What are you doing? And I think that's more important than just people seeing that you're hosting another open house, that you're just, helping another seller sell or whatever. Everybody, and the other thing is a lot of people are using VAs now, right? And a lot of agents out there have the same content because they're using VAs that create the same content. And it's boring. It's the most boring thing, and the consumer is not connecting anymore with it. They're numb to it. So I like to post my dogs. I like to post just what's going on in real time for me. I like to really connect with my people so they
It's not always have to be about
And
real
it's
estate.
not always, I literally probably honestly do 20% real estate on my social media, and the rest is my life. It's, you know, my husband and I, going through my, you know, being an adult with my adult kids now, it's a variety of things, charity work, drives, games, it's me as a person.
Do you do video on numbers about real estate, numbers we provide, do you do any of that?
Nope, I don't get any interaction from that really. So I actually only do that if I find that I'm with a client that's prospecting. And even my clients, they don't open the drip campaigns because I stay in such good contact with
Okay.
them that they don't find a need to even open that stuff. I find that I have those conversations with my clients.
Very good. Sabrina, do you do videos?
Yes.
Numbers? What are you videoing?
Yeah, I do lots of videos and photos. I try to do real estate, but I also keep it personal to myself. You know, I'm gonna put my family out there if I am doing real estate kind of stuff. Almost like she said, if I'm doing an open house, I'm gonna kind of explain what I'm doing, show if I'm cleaning it up, you know, what am I doing in my day-to-day kind of life, not necessarily only this is the house that I'm selling, but also just being persistent in the social media and the posting. And don't think too much about it. I think you were saying a little bit earlier how, you know, sometimes we get in our heads about the post, but like my first buyer was from a TikTok post that I almost didn't post because it was like silly, like it didn't even have anything to do with real estate, and that's how I got my first buyer. So really just put yourself out there, be genuine to yourself, and don't overthink it.
People can see it, they can
Yeah.
feel it, they can feel if you're being
Exactly.
genuine. I mean, it's the largest purchase of their life. They're not gonna hire
Yeah.
someone that's gonna represent
They
them
don't
fake.
want a robot or anything.
No.
Be true to yourself, and the people, you know, that are meant to work with you are gonna be drawn to you, so.
Yeah.
Good.
I was just gonna add, Sabrina's just started popping up on my TikTok, so all of a
Oh,
sudden I'm
yeah.
on TikTok.
We're on TikTok right now.
We love TikTok.
So it's fun to watch them because,
Yeah.
you know, you never know, and if you already have someone in your contacts,
Mhm.
if you have a lot of people in your contacts, your
Yeah.
TikToks will usually show up to those people.
Yeah.
So you're getting in front of people so many different ways.
Yeah, just put yourself out there. Don't think too much on it.
Rose, do you do videos? Do you do numbers? What are you videoing?
I do my numbers every Tuesday. That's my routine. And also I do my videos on homes, my listings and everything. But I also do my personal videos over there, like posting what I'm eating and everything. Because you know what, as a person, I am into Facebook. But the thing is, if I'm watching like somebody in the videos or something, and I look at their profile and they're just posting about homes, you get bored. So they wanna see what's going on with your life too and everything. So I mix whatever, like if I'm showing a home, I show a home. I video and then I post it. And then if I'm meeting a client like that, because most especially in our nationality, they like being there too in your Facebook. So I do that. That's all.
Patrick, videos, any social media?
Oh yeah, so again, I try to reach out to build relationships with people, and I can do that with one video. I can meet thousands of people who've never met me before, and now they can have some level of quote-unquote interaction with me by getting to know me by whatever it is that I'm putting out. Now, on my Facebook, Instagram, yes, it's my personal page, and a lot of my sphere knows me through that, but I do put out, majority of the content is real estate related, but it's not, I try not to make it cookie cutter. I try to make it a variety of things because we have a million things we can talk about when it comes to real estate. Interest rates, what's going on locally, what's going on nationally, what's going on with tips or tricks that these people have never even thought about or never realized that they're going to encounter during a transaction or moving, or there's a million things that you can talk about, whether it's long form or short form. When I say long form, I'm talking about like a 10-minute video where, like, just for instance, I try to keep it within 5, sometimes it pushes it to 10 minutes. Every single month, when new data comes out about what's going on with real estate sales or what have you, I make an entire video about that. But it includes not just, hey, this is how many homes are sold and things like that. I talk about the stuff that I know people, at least as far as I've interacted with people, that they care about. What are the median sales price? What are interest rates at? What is, what's one of the other things in which I touch on? Basically, whether we're in a buyer or seller's market, and what does that mean? So, but in between all of that stuff, I try to do anything and everything I can to educate people about the process of buying, selling. You know, I will crawl up on the roof of a house and talk about, hey, if you're gonna purchase a property, these are the things you need to be paying attention to. Now, some of you may not be willing to crawl up onto the roof
Please
of a house.
don't.
But I try to do anything and everything I can to put out as much information so that, you know, people are just educated about, you know, anything and everything they can about buying or selling.
Perfect. Any last question, anybody? All right, you guys, give them a big hand. We appreciate it. Good job. Oh, one last thing. I'm gonna stop everybody. I forgot. You use your TC.
Yes.
Tiffany.
Oh, yeah.
Sabrina, do you use your TC?
Yes.
Rose, do you use your TC? No, you don't. Patrick, do you use TC?
Every single transaction.
Okay, so 3 out of 4 are using it. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. Give a big hand. All right, guys, let's finish up. She's going to be doing her class, and she's going to be kicking us out here in just a second.
Come and get
Heather.
some freebies.
Yeah, go get your freebies. All right, there's the numbers. Remember, next week after the business meeting, we are doing the C class. Make sure you hit the QR code. 145,000, I think it is, solar systems were put on homes in Las Vegas last year. It's not going away. It's here to stay. So make sure you're going to come to it. This is our wind down Wednesday. It's going to be August 13th. By the way, I will not be here for that one, as that's a special day for me.
It's his birthday.
I'm old enough to drink now, thank God. Open house signs, you guys, we have signs for you guys if you need them. John's doing the strategic finance. It's going to be a great class right here on the 19th. You need to know enough to be dangerous, but not too much to be silly. So make sure you guys come. John does I've taken this class before. He does an amazing job. So RSVP, there's going to be lunch on the 19th after our business meeting as well. So make sure you come to that. And then next week, I am going to do something on expanding your skills. I don't know what it is yet. I'm going to expand your skills. Thank you guys. I appreciate everybody coming.